class. I'm going to do one in this video where so that you can refer to it if you need to do your own close reading in the next assignment. So today we're looking at the poem "We Wear the Mask" by Paul Laurence Dunbar. I have your paper set up to where your poem is right here in the second column, and your close reading steps, which we have already done in class. I'm not going to take the time to go over them. They're on the left-hand side just to help you remember what steps occur after our initial reading. So you'll notice that over here, the steps also correlate with the right color up here at the top so that you can tell what I expect to go into each column on your divider. So it says first, before we do anything, we just need to read through the text. So remember, we're reading through the text just so that you can hear the cadence, the pacing of the poem and what the writer expected his poem to sound like. So first we read. We do absolutely nothing other than read this poem for listening for the cadence and the meter, listening for the change in tone and things like that. We do absolutely nothing other than read. So we're going to start by doing our first step. So we wear the mask. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile and mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? They let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but oh, great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet and long the mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask. Okay, so that was my initial reading. So after our first reading, step number 1 says that I need to subdivide my text into sections. So this poem automatically has some sections set up for me. I'm just simply going to go in there and put a line so that I can see the natural spacing that the poet expected me to use. So I'm just going to go over here and I can see that this is a space in between these stanzas, and what I come up with is 5 stanzas in total. So to remind me of that as I go through to complete my steps 2 and 3, I'm going to insert a horizontal line. For my own, this is just the way that I like to do things. This is my own preference, but it helps me really look to see what my stanzas should look like and what my author expected the natural breakup to look like. So I'm, again, going in and clicking insert and just putting in a horizontal line, and you'll see that now I have very clearly 5 stanzas. So after I've subdivided my text, it says I need to reread again and focus what I believe the author is saying. For each subdivision, I'm going to summarize what I believe he is saying. Now, I do this in 2 steps. So first, I read and I ask myself questions. If there is any kind of question that I have as I'm reading, and I will be glad to show you what that's going to look like in just a second, I'm going to put those things in orange, and then I'm going to summarize in green. Okay, so first I'm going to start in my first stanza, and I'm going to start with my questions first because that's naturally what's going to occur as I read. So stanza 1, we wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. So in my brain, what are the first things that I am wondering, or what connections can I make so far? So we wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. So when I stop to think about this, I have some questions. So for one, who is we? Like in the poem, he says we. What we? Like, is he talking about a generation? Does he mean young people, old people, black people, white people? What kind of we does he talk about? Then I've noticed that in the second stanza, I understand what he means by we wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. So when my first thought of my summary is our cheeks, right? They give us away. If we are happy and we smile, our cheeks get chubby up here at the top. If we are sad and our cheeks droop, it's very easy to tell our emotions from our cheeks. So I wonder if he means that his mask hides his emotions. And then I also think about shades your eyes. I'm actually a Native American. I have Native Americans in my family, and they would tell me, back in the day that they weren't allowed to have their pictures made because they thought the pictures or the cameras would pull their soul from their eyes. So I think to myself, okay, it shades their eyes. That's your soul. He's hiding his soul. So to me, in my summary, which I'm going to do green, my understanding of the text so far is everyone wears a mask to hide their emotions and their souls. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do with that. I have other thoughts that occur to me, but that would really be something that I would do in step 3 when I make that deeper meaning. So I'm just going to hold on to them for my next reading for right this second. But I still am curious as to who is my we, and that is why it is an orange. Okay, so next I have this debt we pay to human guile. So I think I know what guile means. I believe I do, but I might not. I might be wrong. And that's going to affect my understanding. And so I'm going to change my color and I'm going to just write a note to myself. Well, hold on one second. So sorry. I'm going to change the right color. There we go. And I'm going to write a note to myself that I want to define guile, because I just want to make sure that I really understand that word, because I am not even confident in writing my summary until I understand exactly what human guile is. So I'm going to hold on just a second. And now I'm going to keep reading. So, this debt we paid to human guile, with torn and bleeding hearts we smile, and mouth with myriad subtleties. Okay, so again, my first thought is I know that myriad normally means like a bunch of things or a variety of things, but I don't know exactly what he means with myriad subtleties. And you know what? When you read, if you come across something that you don't completely understand, it's okay. I'm going to have to look some things up as well. So it's okay that you don't know. We're just going to keep on going. Okay, so I think when looking in my stanza 1, I think that what he's trying to say to me is, and again, I'm not real sure about what guile and subtleties mean. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to define those before I do my next reading so that I know really well exactly what I'm reading in step number 3. Okay, but with my limited understanding right now of not knowing exactly what guile and myriad subtleties mean, I'm going to use my schema the best I can. Okay, so this debt we pay to human guile, if it's a debt, then it's not something he's excited about. So I'm just going to write Phil's mask is a burden, not burger, burden or debt. Okay. And that lets me know with torn and bleeding hearts we smile. So, meaning he keeps his mask for others to see, to hide those emotions. And the fact that I have that 2 times in the same stanza, that we're using that mask to hide our emotions, I can corroborate that in 2 different places. That lets me know that I think I'm right. That is the whole purpose of that. And then the last line, and mouth with myriad subtleties. Okay, I'm not real sure what myriad subtleties mean, but he doesn't say to me, what stands out to me in my first reading, so that I can summarize this, is he doesn't say we say with myriad subtleties or we talk with myriad subtleties. He doesn't. He says we and mouth. So to me, I think, okay, if I'm mouthing something to someone, it's because they can't hear me. And so I wonder if to him, if he's mouthing things only because no one's going to listen anyway. So why would he take the time to talk? He's just going to mouth it. He's smiling when his feelings are hurt because no one cares about his torn and bleeding heart, because he still has to keep that smile. And he also just speaks without any meaning behind his words. That's what I think. I don't know exactly what myriad subtleties mean. I think maybe it's just like he responds to every situation, but I'm not real sure. That's something that, as an active learner, I need to go in and define. I need to look for that on the internet to see if I can find something that helps me better understand. But from my step 2 and my limited understanding, this is what I think. So if I am summarizing my last line, he doesn't use his words to express his emotions because no one is listening anyway. Isn't that so sad? I hate that. Like I'm curious to see who the we is, but that automatically is something that I can identify with, right? Because we all wear a mask sometimes. We all grin, even when our heart is breaking. And sometimes we say those pleasant things, even that's not when our heart is really feeling. And so far, I'm getting a basic understanding of he's saying that people, whoever the we are, wear that mask to hide who we really are. And now I need to figure things out from there. Okay, so for the purpose of this assignment, I would obviously continue on and do steps 2 and 3 with my students. 2, we would just summarize, go back and define those things just to make sure we really understand what is being said. In 3, we would really talk about the tone by like step by step about this tone and why. Why is it that we wear the mask stands on a line by itself, and how the first we wear a mask is just a statement. He puts a period at the end. We wear a mask. That's it. That's life. And then at the end, with that exclamation point, he's like, okay, we are upset, but we are not failing. We are not giving in. And I actually really love this poem. So that was the video needed to be about 10 minutes long. And that is how I would start. And I would continue on with my graphic organizer to make sure that they understand each parts of these things. But for the purpose of time, that is it. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope I did the correct thing. And I look forward to your feedback. Thank you so much.